Today's passage out of the Gospel of John comes from John chapter 3, verses 22 to 36. And here we see John the Baptist back in the story. If you remember, John the Baptist was present in John 1. So John and John the Baptist are two different people. So part of the reason we call John the Baptist is to separate him from John the Apostle. So John the Baptist is introduced as the one who comes before Jesus to blaze the trail. The last book of the Old Testament, Malachi, has this prophecy that Elijah will return. Elijah is the one to announce that the Messiah is coming. And John the Baptist plays the role of Elijah. He is the one who says, get ready, it's game time. The Messiah is arriving. And his work predates Jesus. So he's Jesus' half cousin, remember. So Elizabeth, Zechariah, and his wife Elizabeth. Mary's aunt is Elizabeth. She conceives. She's an old woman. She's past childbearing age. She's never had a child. And then she conceives and gives birth, and her son is John the Baptist. And then John the Baptist comes out of the wilderness, and he's preaching and calling people to repent, and he's baptizing people, and he baptizes Jesus. But then at a certain point, Jesus and the apostles show up, and they start to baptize people. Now, Jesus doesn't actually ever baptize anybody. The text makes it clear later on that Jesus doesn't baptize anybody. It's only his apostles. But the disciples of John the Baptist, because John the Baptist is sort of a prophet in the same role, sort of a rabbi-ish kind of character, he's got his own disciples, and they're jealous of the crowds that are starting to pay attention to Jesus. And so they ask John about this, like, who is this guy, and should we be a little miffed? And John, in the passage you're going to read today, he confronts their envy head on by saying, no, you got this all wrong. He's the main act, right? I need to decrease, he needs to increase. I'm thrilled that he has arrived. And then there's this discussion about if you're the best man at a wedding, your focus is on the bridegroom. It's about the bridegroom, and he's the star of the show. And so John makes it clear that Jesus is the bridegroom, and that he is thrilled that the attention he's getting is going to decrease so that the attention can increase on Jesus. And then in verses 31 through 36, John, the writer, John the evangelist, John who's the apostle, ties this all together, and he just hammers away at this idea that Jesus is above all, that God placed everything in his hands. Jesus is the Messiah. It's not him, not John the Baptist, but Jesus is the greatest gift of heaven, and they need to devote themselves to Jesus. And the King James uses the word to certify. So it's you place your seal to validate something, to indicate you're in, your pledge. And the point here is that Jesus is the one that we need to put our seal on. Jesus is the one we need to trust. Jesus is the one we need to follow. So John the Baptist says to his disciples, no, Jesus is the guy. I'm going to get smaller. He's the main act. And John fights their envy by going exactly in the opposite direction. Don't be envious of the attention Jesus is getting. That's what should be happening. So enjoy your passage today. Have a good day.